Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. So my name is Nathan Horval. I'm the CTO here at Virtuo. Today we're going to be talking about 3 ways that home builders can use AI to transform their business. So agenda today. So we'll open up with who we are, so tell you a little bit about Virtuo and what we do in the home building industry. Then we'll talk about AI benefits and implementation challenges. 3 practical ways to harness the power of AI in your business, and then we'll finish with some Q&A at the end there as well. If you do have questions along the way, feel free to drop them into the chat. There is a Q&A section. Drop them in there, and we'll address all the questions towards the end. Okay, so first of all, who we are, Virtuo. So, Virtuo, we help builders deliver and scale first-class buyer experiences. So, our mission is to drive customer loyalty from sale all the way through to possession and beyond. So, we help streamline operations, fuel profitable growth in today's market. We do that through a combination of expert human support as well as powerful technology. So our background is founders from an executive relocation business, and we've been delivering seamless home buying experiences to tens of thousands of homeowners across North America. So really what we do is we deliver that personalized white glove experience all the way from sale to possession and beyond, and that is drives customer loyalty, advocacy, and ultimately referrals as well. Okay, it's enough about us. AI benefits and implementation challenges. So first of all, how AI is transforming home building. So as everyone knows, AI is a huge play for saving time and saving money. So a lot of research, Deloitte shows that to save time, implementing AI into your business can help reduce sales cycles by 15 to 25%, increase customer engagement efficiency by 30%, 20% of time on routine tasks through task automation, process automation. And on the revenue side, so reducing operational costs by 20%, cutting resource wastage by 15 to 20%, and saving 30% on campaign costs for marketing as well. So obviously a huge benefit to implement AI into your business. And the benefits of that is early adopters of AI are going to gain a competitive advantage in today's market. So this is a study by Avid Ratings, obviously in the home building industry. So what that showed was that 51% of builders are currently not using AI, 49% are using AI, and you can see the breakdown there in terms of how it's been utilized. So for today, we're going to be a little more focused on sales and marketing, as well as customer engagement and support. So they make up currently kind of over 50% of the AI usage in the home building industry. Outside of that would be obviously data analysis and marketing on market trends, architecture and planning, and customer efficiency as well. We are going to launch a poll as well. So I'll give you guys a couple of seconds here to finish it. So we just want to know kind of like currently who is using AI or who's planning to use AI. So if you can take a second here to fill out the poll, it'd be great to see some of those results from attendees today. Okay, awesome. We'll take a look at some of those results towards the end as well. Okay, so first of all, navigating the AI hype cycle. So this is the Gartner technology hype cycle. Every technology goes through this. So first of all, you have your innovation trigger. So think ChatGPT hit in the market a couple of years ago. What you tend to see is the technology reaches that peak of inflated expectations. So I'm sure everyone understands that generative AI hit that pretty recently. So that is kind of like lofty expectations of how this is going to change the world, replace jobs, take over. It may end up doing that in a lot of ways, but the reality is right now we've gone into that trough of disillusionment. We're understanding the shortcomings in this technology, and everyone is desperate to find practical use cases that solve the genuine consumer pain points and problems. So that's kind of the how we need to navigate AI is try to avoid this slope and land right into that plateau of productivity where we start to implement generative AI to solve genuine problems within your business. You've probably seen the recent Elon Musk with his Optimus robots serving you drinks and then doing your dishes. That's again at the peak of inflated expectations, and maybe one day we do have robots walking around the house doing those things, but we've got a long way to go to reach that plateau of productivity. So no different with generative AI and that hype cycle that we have to navigate. To compound that problem, the reality of AI implementation is costly. So It's an estimated $5 to $20 million in upfront investment costs for companies to implement AI into their business. And to make that worse, less than 30% of these projects actually make it into production. And the risk of rushing this is that there is a huge impact on your brand. There was a big study by Deloitte that showed that rushing AI to market and not solving a consumer pain point and just delivering generic answers is actually highly impactful on brand and reputation. So it's not something you want to rush. It's time and money if you get it wrong. A lot of a lot of negative outcomes there as well. So, implementation best practices and common pitfalls to avoid. So, first one is pretty obvious. Bad data equals bad results. So, AI relies on clean, consistent data. Poorly organized data is going to give you inaccurate results, hallucinations, things like that. So, this doesn't mean you need to go out and hire a database administrator to be constantly cleaning your data, but you do need to be structured and disciplined in how you capture data. So, especially with the CRMs, the website behavior, demographics, pain points, things like that. Being structured in how you capture that data so that the AI can give you the results you want. No different on the customer experience side. On a recent implementation, we kind of worked with a home builder to implement AI into the business and took a look at their frequently asked questions from customers directly from the customer care team, and then we kind of looked at all their resources they give homeowners, so all their documents, their data, their blogs, websites, and what we found was that 40% of those common questions were actually not available in the resources given to the homeowners. So that disorganized data can lead to bad results if not kind of like managed well. The second one is using basic chatbots. So I'm sure everyone on the call has been on a website recently where an AI chatbot's come up, and really what you see is very generic, low value answers. And so what that leads to is, and I do this myself, is I just say, talk to human, talk to human. I try to jump past that AI layer to get to the human because there's no value in the AI. And really what it comes down to is that, again, that hype cycle is delivering contextual awareness so that the AI can give relevant data and personalized responses is the key. And the thing to avoid is those basic website chatbots. I have talked to a few builders who have tried to do that on their websites, and similar feedback has been that there's engagement from the website visitors, but what they tend to do is because doesn't know who they are, doesn't know their situation, they tend to try and jump that queue and get straight to someone to talk to. So again, the point of rushing that and implementing something basic is not going to help at all. And lastly is overlooking the training and the prompting. So you need ongoing data and training for it to stay effective. So regularly refining the results, being iterative in how you build this. It's not a set it and forget it solution. Prompt engineering is an entire industry right now. There's people specialize in this. So there are ways to continue to improve, but like I said, this is not something that is implement and forget about. You need to be iterative in nature and how you continue to improve and train the results. Okay, so 3 practical ways that we can harness the power of AI in the home building industry. So first of all, number one on the sales and marketing side is automating lead scoring. So like I said, AI can analyze huge sets of data in a lot quicker than a human. So behavioral analysis, real-time scoring for high potential buyers. So looking at website behavior, clicks, downloads, engagement, things like that, that can help you score those leads and increase your conversion rate. There are a lot of the large CRMs out there, so HubSpot, Salesforce, they've integrated AI-based lead scoring into their solution. So out of the box, you can leverage these, as well as our friends at openhouse.ai. So they're using predictive analytics and AI to optimize pricing and resource allocation and personalize the digital shopping experience for home buyers on these websites as well. Number two is using AI to generate lookalike audiences for targeted campaigns. So lookalike audiences isn't a new phenomenon. So this has been happening in the advertising industry for a long time. So leveraging machine learning algorithms to analyze user behavior, demographics, psychographics, and create detailed profiles, and then use those profiles to find other potential buyers with similar characteristics. So this has been happening for a while. What AI has allowed is more scalability of these building out of the lookalike campaigns and the audiences. So AI can be more accurate in identification of potential customers. It can process large data sets effectively and expand to broader audiences. And really where AI is starting to make a huge impact here is the personalization. So by understanding those behaviors and preferences, it can actually modify the content delivery based on that persona to slightly tweak your ad so that it can be more effective to that audience as well. So huge impacts on the advertising world and using those lookalike audiences. And probably the most common one right now is the Gen AI for marketing content. So this was probably I'd say the most adopted first use case of ChatGPT was creating blog content, marketing content, images. Uh, Obviously, it boosts efficiency by some studies show 75% on generating this marketing content. But there are some risks when it comes to using Gen AI for this. Recently, search engines have been cracking down pretty hard on AI generated content and de-scoring your search engine results based on leveraging AI because there's a lot of AI generated content out on the open web these days. So really the tip there for using Gen AI is to use it more as a brainstorming and sounding board. So create the outline of the story, but then fill in the content from there. So the other thing that it's really great for is creating keywords, SEO, meta titles, FAQs. Those things are amazing for Gen AI and speed you up. But really, it can be that kind of like tool to get you 80% of the way, and that last 20% to add a little bit of actual domain knowledge from the user, so that you're not getting descored by the search engines. The other big use case is AI for images. So this is actually an example of a campaign that we at Virtuo launched back in 2023. So we had the idea of kind of like going to a throwback campaign of old kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, and talking about how customer experience, how these kind of places in the home have changed. Your customer experience should change to stay modern as well. And we actually used a tool called Stable Diffusion and Midjourney to generate these images through AI. So we actually prompted it to use some of our brand colors, and we said we want 70s style kitchens, bathrooms. I think the bathroom had like carpeted stairs and things like that. So here's an example of how you can use AI to, I mean, before Gen AI, this would have cost tens of thousands of dollars to produce. And now we can kind of produce these very quickly and effectively, saving time and money as well. So ChatGPT tips. So it is all about the prompts. I think one thing people don't realize with ChatGPT is you can actually encourage clarifying questions from the AI. So rather than say, here's what I want, you can say, I want you to act as someone interviewing me and I want you to clarify and improve the results by asking clarifying questions. So that's a really effective way to iterate, and it can be very hard to get the detail in one prompt, but you can actually iterate through those clarifying questions. And obviously, the more detail you provide, the better the answer is going to be. It's obvious. Number two is setting the tone, and actually specifying the audience is a huge part of this as well. So again, something that is probably underutilized is that you can actually tell the AI exactly how you want the tone to be, professional, friendly, and you can tailor it to a specific audience. So, for example, in home building, the prompt can be, I want you to act like a seasoned home builder customer care coordinator. And the goal is to explain the concept of attic rain to a first-time home buyer. And then the context would be provide a simplified overview that includes key principles, but avoids overly technical jargon, and then easy to action instructions to avoid this situation. So that's the kind of like given the exact prompt of the who I want you to act like, the audience, and how I want you to provide the result, and that's going to get you the outcomes that you want. And lastly is just be specific on the length. So if it's too long, ask to shorten it. If I'm looking for one paragraph, I want 1,000 words. You can provide that in ChatGPT, and it will give you those results as well. Okay, so tip number two, using AI to enhance customer engagement. So this is our bread and butter. This is obviously a pain point across industries. So in the home building, obviously we're always lead scoring, we close a deal. What happens next is we get flooded with questions. So questions about the contract, construction progress, appointments, warranty, the move, everything about that. That tends to come in post sale. Virtual is not immune to this. So over the years, we've built out robust resource libraries, blogs, educational drip campaigns. The reality is technology has created an environment of ultra convenience. So looking at user behavior in our product, initially we see exploration of these resources early in their journey. But what tends to happen is after a while, they default to asking the concierge or their customer care team. So what we've seen is that especially when the pandemic has kind of forced digital adoption across demographics, expectations are now at an all-time high. Analog doesn't cut it, and we need to provide these resources in a convenient way for homeowners. The second is integrate context-aware AI. So I alluded to that earlier. Out of the box, chatbots don't cut it anymore. Users are expecting the results from generative AI to be hyper-personalized. So I want information relevant to my home, in my community, with my selections. That's the kind of things that customers are expecting today and what we have to deliver to meet those expectations. So, Home AI. So, this is something that Virtuo has been building and deploying in the home building industry recently. So, again, speaking to those pain points around common FAQs, Homey's been tailor built to consume all of those documents, resources specific to an individual's home. We do create a unique database for that home, and then Homey can now provide hyper personalized responses to any questions that a homeowner would want to ask. So, as an example here, if we have a question about my paint is peeling, is that covered under my new home warranty? Obviously, HomeAI goes to that resource library. It can summarize, here is your coverage of warranty, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, and optional additional, 10 years as well. And it also references the documents where it found this. But the best part about this is that, unfortunately, since you've been in your home for 3 years, the 1 year coverage for defects and materials and labor is not valid. So that contextual awareness that this homeowner moved in 3 years ago, and therefore this is no longer valid. But then again, to elevate that experience is not leaving them hanging and saying, hey, if we can help you find painters or tell you what the paint color is in your home, then we can help you resolve this. But unfortunately, it's not going to fall under your warranty. So that's a kind of, again, the experience that homeowners are expecting, and then we're hoping to deliver. The other benefit of obviously leveraging these large language models is different languages. So there is support for over 80 languages. Ask the exact same question in Mandarin, you get the same answer, referencing all the construction, all the warranty coverage, but delivered in their preferred language. So again, diverse buyers coming through, meet them in their preferred language and give them answers from English resources, but delivered via Gen AI in the language that they're expecting. And lastly, again, so that expectation of like my selections, my home. So as an example here, if we can absorb those documents, what light bulbs do I need in my hood fan? So go into that selection document and reference in it here. You need 4.1 LED Kelvin lights, and then also what's the warranty on this? And then I can kind of like go back again to that selection document and give you those answers. So again, this is what we're very passionate about, is this is the experience that homeowners are expecting and that I think the home building industry needs to meet in order to continue to deliver that consumer expectations. And tip number 3, so data-driven insights for continuous improvement. So internally at Virtuo, so we're using AI to analyze hundreds of thousands of interactions with our concierge. And so what that is doing for us is it's giving us a priority list of questions that we need to address, tutorials, different questions we want to suggest throughout that journey. So really the best insights come directly from the customers. So again, common sense, but collecting this data is incredibly important in order for you to be an environment of continuous improvement. So this is not set it and forget it. You want to continuously monitor those responses. And also you want a feedback loop of customers telling you whether these are good responses or not, so you can continue to improve as well. Okay, so that's it for the content. And I want to open it up now to any questions that we might have from the audience. Okay, so looking at the polls that we had there, so currently using AI, so we had 67% saying yes, I'm currently using it, 22% not currently using it, and 11% no because I don't know where to start. Okay, question from Nicole. So how does Homie learn everything about the homes? Yeah, it's a good question, Nicole. So again, we've built out in the virtual platform a really robust resource library. So there's two components to how we've, I guess, delivered this experience through Homey. So the resource library would be more of your generic homeowner binder kind of documents, how to look after the home, how to winterize it, how to look after it in fall, community guides, kind of like your handouts that you give. That's the resource library. So we allow home builders to build that out and personalize it by community, buyer type, product type, things like that. So that's one component of the documents that we're training Homey on. The second part is, like I mentioned, those all those selections, addendums, purchase contracts. We have a digital file cabinet in the virtual experience, which integrates with the virtual, it can integrate with your document management system. So SharePoint, on-prem document management, we can ingest all those documents, deliver it in a digital way to the homeowner. But what we've done on the back end is we've taken that resource library and those files, and we've created through vector embedding a unique database on the home. So now what we can do is we can put those LLMs and the generative kind of capabilities in front of that unique database, and that's how we get those answers very specific to that home and that homeowner as well. Um, Lois asked about the hype slide. Sorry, Lewis. Any questions on this one, Lewis? When will AI make money? It's a very good question. So I think going back to that slide in terms of the saving time and saving money. So obviously, like again, that example used of onboarding that home builder and understanding that 40% of the most frequently asked questions were not being answered to homeowners, and so that's a huge resource drain. So having that coverage and leveraging tools like AI to deliver that experience in real time in their language, and I guess not going into that resource drain on your customer care teams is one example of the cost savings. I think again, so beyond that, sales and marketing, like I said, it's the reducing the sales cycles, routine tasks, automation. So I'd say make money is an interesting way of putting it, but I'd say saving time and saving money. I mean, that's bottom line what we're trying to do here. And so leverage AI obviously can just increase the bottom line for you. Where are we in the AI hype cycle in 2024? Yeah, good question. So, like I said, I think generative AI, I would say, hit the peak of this probably in 2023. I right now would be closer to halfway down the trough of disillusionment. So again, the what you look at in the market. So when it was at its highest, VCs were throwing money at any company that put AI into their title. What we're seeing now is a bit more due diligence on the actual pain point that it's solving. So practical use cases and personalization. So I think right now we're about to hit that the bottom of that trough in the next sort of 6 to 12 months. And I think where we're starting to see now is again we're scratching the surface. What we're doing with Homey, there's a lot more we can be doing on the back end in terms of workflow and process automation beyond just the generative AI capabilities. So I guess on that warranty as an example is a lot of like plays in the space, us included, in terms of if it is a warrantable item, let's submit that to the warranty system so that we can go from that experience of yes under warranty, but let's get the ticket in through an automated fashion. So I guess activating some of the processes behind the Gen AI is where we're going to start seeing that. And I think that's the enlightenment part is companies will start to realize, hey, I can automate a lot of my business on the back of AI, and that's when we're going to hit to that productivity. I'd say some businesses are already hitting that plateau. I was talking to an analyst recently who's has replaced humans in terms of, I guess, assessing financial statements, and AI can go and do that across North America in minutes. It would have taken them fresh out of school like weeks, months, if not. So I think like, and sorry, this is the Gartner technology hype cycle, Lewis. So if you look up the Gartner technology hype cycle, it's this one, and it actually shows you on there all of the technologies, and they're suggesting Gen AI is starting to hit that trough, like I mentioned. Okay, any other questions from the attendees? Okay, well, there's other questions. Oh, okay, Nicole, sorry, back to Home AI. What's your question there, Nicole? Working in parallel with project management software like Builder How does integration work? Yeah, so like I said, the integration. So yes, we work with a lot of the Builder ERPs, CRMs to get customer information handed over after point of sale. Beyond that, like I said, that resource library is a set it and forget it one-time implementation to build that out for all of your buyers to go through experience. The individual files, so contract selections, addendums, those integrations, again, we work with SharePoint. We have worked with some of the Constellation software. We're very like dynamic and flexible at Virtuo, so we have a lot of open AIs to pass a lot of these documents through. So that is, I guess, what we do with home building is we want to streamline your business to deliver this experience. So integration to CRM's document management systems is how we work to get you guys up and rolling and delivering this experience to your customers. And so, Nicole, for those people who are builders and developers, is there a way to input developer-specific info for questions asked about communities? For example, if people ask about potholes in a community, that wouldn't be covered in their home documents, but it's a type of question we get all the time. Yeah, great question, Nicole. So that would be that resource library side of things. So we can, through that resource library, you can actually put in frequently asked questions down to the community. So you could upload that PDF. You could also reference a website, and you could say that I want this resource to be seen by single families or multi or anyone living within this community. And so then when you import that resource, anyone that matches in that geofence community will see the resource. But we also on the back end train Homie on those frequently asked questions within the community. And therefore when the homeowner asks Homie, it's pulling from that information as well. So, and Yulia, what LLM is Virtual using? So currently we're using GPT-4. So we are currently working with a provider to benchmark across all the LLMs. I think the benefit of how we've architected this is we're LLM agnostic, so we can continue to evolve with the LLMs that are coming into the market. So whether it be Claude or any of the others, we're kind of benchmarking across to see which is giving us the best results and the answers. That repository has given us the retrieval mechanism, that knowledge base, is obviously gives the guardrails of where we want to get the answers from, and we can continue to plug in the best LLM in the market to continue to evolve Homey over time as well. So sometimes we build rental communities. Do you work in that space from Lewis? Yeah, so we have worked with purpose-built rentals as well. So similar things. So we help them integrate into the building, and then kind of deliver this experience courtesy of you guys as well. Okay, well, that gets us to time. I'm glad we reserved some time for questions. Thank you, everyone, for the questions. Lewis, yes, Salesforce. Yes, we do have Salesforce integrations and tutorials, so we can get buyer information directly from Salesforce via their workflow and webhooks. So we have open APIs for you guys to integrate with, and we've done this for many builders using Salesforce and have a lot of tutorials on that as well. Okay. All right. Well, thanks again for the questions. I hope you guys got some value out of this. And yeah, if you have any more questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to reach out to Jamie and Anton, who'll be following up with the recording. And we'll be happy to walk you through a more tailored demonstration of a virtual homie and any other questions you guys might have about implementing AI into your business. Yulia, yes, we have connected with Newstar as well. Yeah, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.